If your work has to do anything with creativity, then you must know this dreadful, horrible feeling of having no ideas, just staring at the white blank canvas and having no clue what to put there. So I want to share a story of what happened to me today and then share 2 tips of what I do when this happens to me. Let's get started with the story. If you've been following the vlog, then you know that I've got started working on a brand identity project. And the other week I had a strategy session with them. And this is one of the most complicated, this is the most complicated project I have ever worked on. And now I have to actually put up the strategy presentation, synthesize everything that I learned into a coherent brand strategy. And I just didn't know how to do this. I didn't know how to solve the positioning statement. I just didn't know what to do. I actually told my wife, I don't know how to solve their problem. And I was like, should I give them back their money? I already spent way more hours than I anticipated, and so profitability of this project is going down. But I had to do something. And I've been delaying creating the presentation just because I have no clue. I have no idea how to solve this. And today is the day. Tomorrow I have to meet the strategy guy, the business guy that I'm working with, and present something. And I had to do it today. And so I sat down. I woke up this morning a bit stressful. I mean, this happened to me like a million times in the past. And so I know this situation, and I know that usually I come up with something eventually, but it's still stressful. So woke up, just stared at the blank PowerPoint, like white slide, having no idea what to do. So I was looking at reference, looking out for example, and I know how to do strategy presentation because I did them before. And then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get started on the first frame. Putting there, and then, okay, what should I write here? No, this is not good, and this is not good, and I was just stuck. Eventually, I told myself, hey, it's okay if the first version is gonna suck. It's okay, give yourself a permission to do something bad. So I was like, okay, let me just do something bad and move on to the next slide, so at least I have something. And I got started. I even put a note, this is not good, rethink this, and moved on to the next slide and to the next slide. Eventually got to the slide where I was most afraid of, where I didn't have any clue, and suddenly, all of a sudden, bam, it just clicked, and I had an idea, and I was like, oh my God, how didn't I thought about this before? And I was moving through, and finally I went back to revisit the first slides that I thought were not good enough. Eventually, the presentation turned out really good, and I really like it. And I solved a lot of the issues which I had no clue this morning on how to solve. So I'm super, super happy. And as I said, this happened to me so many times before. So I know how to go through this, but it's still very stressful. So here are my 2 tips on how to get over this. Number 1, you have to have a process, because a process, at least you know what the next step that you have to do. At least you can go through the motions. Even if you don't have the idea, okay, I'm starting with the research. I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna do that. And most creative ideas do work in this phase where you first have to collect information and do some research. So this is technical. You can even do that if you don't have any ideas. And then you have a process for what you need to create. So if you create a logo, you have a process for a logo. If you create a presentation, then you have kind of the orders of the slides that you know they need to be in. So going through the motion gets you started on this. And then the second thing is to give yourself a permission to start off with something that is not perfect. Because a lot of time, the reason, it's not that we don't have ideas, it's that we think that our ideas are not good enough. And that's what keeps us stuck. And we keep censoring ourselves because we think that our ideas, everybody has crappy ideas, right? Come up with bad ideas is not that difficult. It's to come up with good ideas that is difficult, and that's why we're censoring ourselves. And so by giving yourself permission to start off with a not so perfect idea and knowing that this is only the first version, and once you get feedback, you're going to iterate on that and you're going to improve on that, that really gets the wheels moving, and a lot of times you get to improve the idea several times yourself before you even present it. So eventually this day was really good. I feel confident about the presentation. Obviously I'm going to get feedback, but I feel confident and I feel like I've made a big breakthrough, so I'm super happy about this. Hope you are having a great day as well. I'll catch you tomorrow.